This is Jeff with Eternity Shore, and we have a launch date. But before I get there, it's Thursday, March 14th. There are boats on the water because it's 75 degrees. I'm overdressed. Should have had shorts on. Okay, so here's what's going on. We have a launch date, but the question is, which slip are we going to be in this year? I had wanted to move up slips. There was nobody next to us last year, so I wanted to move one slip away from land towards the water. Let me explain why. So many of you know, this is our slip right here, number 6. And there's the dock box that we've used. The issue in our slip, oftentimes what I do when I come in is I'd love to be able to just pivot, get it in here, because we have about an extra foot on each side. The beam of our boat is almost 12 feet. This is 14 feet wide. But notice, you can't come in and pivot here because you've got, you have this pole here, and then you have this. I can't pivot. There's nothing to pivot against there without destroying or without damaging the boat. Right here is the piling, and I'd like to pivot off of there. One of the challenges of that is if we go further towards land, it gets really shallow here. So I'm not really a fan of coming all this way and pivoting. For us, the question is, do we want to stick with this slip or this slip is number 12 and it's available. Only thing I don't like is our neighbor indeed sticks out about 4 feet here. So when we're coming in here into the fairway, we don't have a lot of space here. But I like that there's a post right here that we can pivot on, and I would prefer to pivot on this. Now, the boat next to us is not going to be sticking out. None of the other boats down here will stick out. If you remember my first time navigating that slip, we also had a neighbor who's now over here who stuck out. And so that was very, very challenging. I might actually put a picture or a video up of how difficult that was. So again, to review, would we take that slip down there, which you see that the piling, our piling is right there, and then the black post is beyond that? Or would you come down here and take this slip where the piling is on the port side of the boat and not the starboard side? At the end of the day, we chose to move down here, and we think, even though our neighbor's kind of sticking out a little bit, I like the post where it is. I like the piling where it is, and we're that much further away from land. There were a couple times when we were going into our slip that we moved beyond, and it got so shallow we were in danger over there. I didn't really like that. So this gives us a little bit more room. However, there are 2 more advantages to this slip that we don't have at our slip. Number 1 is there's a spot for our dock box. Previous person that was leasing this slip will be removing this dock box, which means we can move our dock box down right behind our boat, which is kind of what you want to do. The other major difference in number 12 is number 12 has 2 30-amp cable receivers, and the water is right there, and it is for this slip right here. We had a problem with I think one of these receptacles that wasn't working. So if you recall, oftentimes we would have our 30-amp cables all the way over there plugged into number 4, which creates a safety hazard, and it's also kind of a pain in the butt. We are officially saying goodbye to 6. Bye-bye 6. And we are moving on up, not to 8, not to 10, but to 12. I think the pros outweigh the cons, but we shall see, because I have not brought in the boat in that spot, and even moving down 4 spots can be very different in terms of current. And also, one of the considerations as well is you got to know which boats are going to be opposite us in this other marina, because they can block the wind as you come in, and that sort of changes the outlook on things. But let me finish that very important project, and then I'll tell you when our launch date is. So if you remember, I screwed this up last time and painted when it was too cold, and so the paint was really thin and runny, and it wasn't adhering to the outdrives. Today is over 70 degrees, and these have been sitting in the sun for a while, so it's warmer. So what I have to do to finish up is I need to sand this one again. I'm gonna sand this one again, and then we'll try the paint this time, and hopefully we'll be done. I probably won't put the anodes back on until the paint dries. Because I've sanded these things a bunch of times, I'm not gonna show you the sanding, but once I start painting, we'll see how that works. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Don't look too close. It is a lot better than it was. Did both out drives. Did about 1.5 cans. So it's not nearly as drippy and gloppy as it was before. I don't know if you can tell there compared to what it was before. So it's stuck this time, which is what I wanted. Well, I'm ready to be done with these. There's a couple light spots in here that I didn't get quite as good as I wanted to, but it's an outdrive. It's not my bedroom wall. So our launch date is less than 3 weeks away. It is Wednesday, April 3rd in the afternoon. So very excited about that. And there are still a couple things that need to be done. You saw that the outdrives are painted, that's great. I need to put the anodes back on the outdrive. And the biggest thing after that is we have got to sand and bottom paint that boat. Mary and I are gonna be back on Saturday. Mary and I will be back on Saturday to take care of that. Hope you're excited for the spring, because it's right here. It's right here. When's your launch date? Let us know. Leave your comments, like, and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Ciao.